Hello boys and girls, welcome to John Britt's Pottery Studio. Today we're going to show you how to do glaze testing. Alright, this will be slightly complicated, but it's an easy way to test. I think it'll help you get through it. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is I'll give you an overview here. I got a dust mask, I got my handy dandy blender, hand blender, immersion blender. I got a calculator, I got my scale, and then I got all my cups and tiles set up. So the first thing that we're going to do is get our recipe. So in this case we got Pinel Celadon. What we need to do, this should almost always add up to 100 or 99 or 101 or something like that. Okay, so we take out all the colorants and opacifiers. So just take them out. Now you have a base. This is called a base. So this is a base recipe. We have 35 silica, 25 feldspar, 20 whiting, and 20 grolic kaolin. That adds to 100. We need to make that 1,000 because we want to make a 1,000-gram batch. So if you're a math person, all you would do is move a decimal. If you're not, you can get your calculator and go 35 times 10. That's going to be 350. So and sometimes I'll write up here times 10 because then I know what I'm doing. My next number will be 250. My next number will be 200 and 200. And then if I add those all up, which I do with a calculator, my batch is going to be 1,000. Okay? Now what we're going to do, put the calculator away. And we are going to get our scale here. The first thing you want to do with your scale is zero it. So if you come over here and look, we have this called a tare balance. So I'm going to make this go out of balance. Now, I've got my pan on there, so what I have to do is move this over to the right some until it just takes a minute to be patient. Okay. So now it's close. Now what you do is you turn this. This will turn and make it go backwards a little. And then if that's close, I will turn it a slight bit more and we'll see if that balances. It's close. If I need a super fine balance, you can look underneath here and see this small one. You turn this a little and then you make sure this is balanced and you're good. Okay? So now what we'll do is we'll look at our material that we're going to do. We're going to do grolic. Let's just say we need 200 of that. So we'll set our scale and then I'm going to put my mask on here, my dust mask. Now what I do with my dust mask is I keep it in this bag to keep dust out of the dust mask, which is critical. And then I write a date on there when I have to replace these little filters get replaced. You can see they're slightly getting dusty, but and then this is a fume filter, and I write a date on there too. Okay? So now what I'll do, put this on. Be hard for me to talk, but we won't last too long on that. I'll just do it real quick. All right. We'll weigh out our grolic. Okay, now what we'll do is put that in our container. Okay, now then I make a check mark. The most important thing when you're doing this that you never deviate from is every time you put something from the pan into the container, you make a check mark on the page. That way, even if you have to go away for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, look away for 2 seconds, you always know if there's a check mark there, you have done that. If there isn't one, you need to do it. Okay? So that's the best way. Then what I'll do is I'm going to blend this up with my hand blender. Okay? This is the thing that makes this method work well, is this hand blender. If you don't have the hand blender, what happens with most potters is they have to stir it Then they have to run it through a sieve, and then each test has to be run through a sieve, and then you won't do any glaze testing. But this hand immersion blender is excellent. You can use a blender, but then that's hard to clean out every time. This one, you just put in this water here, and now it's clean. Clean enough for what we're doing. Okay? So now you're going to come over here after you finish putting all your ingredients in there. You just estimate the water. I would ask somebody if this is a good amount, but I think that's a reasonable thickness. You sort of look at it. It's going to be either like skim milk, 2%, whole milk.